Assalamu alaikum. 6 p.m. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Kanooz Ashraf. First, the headlines. Army spokesperson rejecting the Indian propaganda about their incursion at LOC has challenged the Indian Air Force notion to spend 21 minutes time in Pakistani airspace. Pakistan has outrightly rejected the Indian claim of destroying an alleged terrorist camp in Balakot and vowed to respond uncalled for Indian aggression at the time and place of its choice. Prime Minister has appreciated timely and effective response of Pakistan Air Force to repulse Indian intrusion at LOC without any loss of life or property. Prime Minister Imran Khan has called National Command Authority meeting tomorrow to discuss and respond to the prevailing situation arising out of the Indian aggression at the LOC. Prime Minister Imran Joint session of the Parliament has been summoned tomorrow to give a strong message to New Delhi that the nation is united in face of any Indian aggression. All the political parties in the National Assembly have expressed the resolve to stand shoulder to shoulder with the armed forces to defend every inch of the motherland. And in Pakistan, Super League Islamabad United will take on Multan Sultans at Dubai tonight. And now the news in detail. DGISPR Major General Asif Ghafoor says India is using lying and deceit to launch propaganda against Pakistan and there has been no attack on Pakistani soil. Addressing a media briefing in Islamabad this evening, he said Indian claim to remain in Pakistani airspace for 21 minutes is nothing but lies. He dared the Indian Air Force to come in to spend such time in Pakistan's territory. He said ever since the Pulwama incident and threatening statements emerging from India, Pakistan Air Force has been highly alert and regularly patrolling our strikes. He said,
"You will never be able to surprise us. We have not been surprised. We were ready, we responded, we denied. We will retain the escalation ladder. We have that initiative in our hand. You have chosen a path of war without knowing the consequences for the peace and stability in the region. We have fought for 15 years to bring peace and stability in the region."
The National Security Committee, which met in Islamabad today with Prime Minister in the chair, strongly rejected Indian claim of targeting an alleged terrorist camp near Balakot and the claim of heavy casualties and vowed that Pakistan shall respond to this Indian uncalled aggression at the time and place of its choice. The meeting said that once again the Indian government has resorted to a self-serving, reckless and fictitious claim. The meeting was told that claimed area of strike is open for the world to see the facts on ground, and for this, domestic and international media is being taken to the impact site. The meeting said this action has been done for domestic consumption being in election environment, putting regional peace and stability at grave risks. The meeting was attended by Ministers of Foreign Affairs Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Defence Minister Pervez Khattak, Finance Chairman Joint Chief of Staff Committee, COAS General Qamar Javed Bajwa, Chief of Naval Staff Admiral Zafar Mahmood Abbasi, Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Mujahid Anwar Khan and other civil and military officials. Later briefing the media about National Security Committee meeting along with Defence Minister Pervez Khattak and Finance Minister Asad Omar, this afternoon Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said India has committed uncalled for aggression and the Prime Minister has directed all elements of national power, including the armed forces and the people of Pakistan, to remain prepared for all eventualities. He said,
"To take the nation on board, the government has decided to requisition joint session of Parliament. Prime Minister has summoned special meeting of the National Command Authority on tomorrow. PM has directed that all elements of national power, including the armed forces and the people of Pakistan, to remain prepared for all eventualities."
The National Security Committee meeting constituted a committee comprising Ministers of Defence, Finance and Foreign Affairs to contact parliamentary leadership in order to take them into confidence on this evolving situation. The meeting decided that local and international media will be taken to the site of attack so they could inspect themselves and expose the Indian propaganda. It has also been decided that the United Nations Military Observers Group in India and Pakistan will also be taken to the site. Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Ali Mohammed Khan told the House that a joint sitting of the Parliament will be held in Islamabad tomorrow at 11 a.m. He said the session is being convened with the aim to give a message that Pakistani nation is united and stand behind their armed forces in the face of any Indian aggression. The Senate has strongly condemned violation of Pakistani airspace by Indian jet fighters and said that the entire nation is united in defending the motherland. Speaking in the upper house today, Maulana Abdul Ghafoor Haidari said the time has come when India should be taught a lesson in language where it understands. He said that people of Pakistan are ready to sacrifice their lives to defend every inch of the country. He said every citizen is standing behind the valiant forces of Pakistan to give a tit-for-tat response to Indian aggression. In the National Assembly today, Treasury and opposition benches expressed the resolve to stand united and shoulder to shoulder with the armed forces to defend every inch of the motherland. Strongly denouncing the LOC violation by the Indian Air Force, the members said Pakistan does not want war, but if war is imposed, the entire nation will stand like a rock wall to give a befitting response to the enemy. Taking the floor, Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs Ali Mohammed Khan said India, just like the past, resorted to cowardly act in the darkness of night, but Pakistani Air Force gave a befitting response and forced the Indian aircraft to retreat. He said Pakistan is a peace-loving country and our desire for peace should not be misconstrued as our weakness. This is Radio Pakistan. President Dr. Arif Alvi says we have no bad intention against any other country, but we know to defend our motherland from any kind of misadventure. At a second conference on media and conflict in Islamabad today, he said the valiant Pakistani armed forces combated and defeated the scourge of terrorism in a befitting manner. He said,
there was no reason to blame Pakistan, and Pakistan made a statement again and again. In fact, the Prime Minister of Pakistan expressed what the people of Pakistan felt, that there must be peace between India and Pakistan. And that was communicated to them in simple terms. And what was the reaction? That they did not trust. The response was a belligerent response. And then an incident of terror happens in India, and all of a sudden the whole blame is placed on Pakistan, and the history has created in India. And it's a dangerous game. It's a brinkmanship which can lead to war. Situation coming around. Pakistan wants peace.
Economic Coordination Committee of the Cabinet has approved supplementary grant of 46,400,000 rupees for the payment of families of deceased employees of Petroleum Division. The meeting approved supplementary grant of 11.441 million rupees to Ministry of Privatization to meet expenses on relocation of its offices. In occupied Kashmir, India's notorious National Investigation Agency today conducted widespread raids on the residences of senior residents, leaders including Mirwaiz Umar Farooq, Muhammad Ashraf Sahri, Muhammad Yasin Malik, and Shabir Ahmed Shah in Srinagar. In Afghanistan, at least 7 Taliban militants, including a key commander, have been killed by government forces in Helmand province. According to a statement of Provincial Police Department, a number of arms, ammunitions, and a mine-making factory of militants have also been destroyed. Secretary of Russia's Security Council Nikolai has said that the United States is preparing for a military intervention in Venezuela. Talking to newsmen in Moscow today, he said Russia had agreed to a proposal from Washington to hold consultations on Venezuela, but the United States had repeatedly postponed them on invented pretexts. In Pakistan, Super League Islamabad United will take on Multan Sultans at Dubai today. The match will start at 9 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. However, rain, thunderstorm with snowfall over the hills is expected at a few places in Kashmir and its adjoining hilly areas. To end the news headlines once again. Army spokesperson rejecting the Indian propaganda about their incursion at LOC has challenged the Indian Air Force notion to spend 21 minutes time in Pakistani airspace. Pakistan has outrightly rejected the Indian claim of destroying an alleged terrorist camp in Balakot and vowed to respond uncalled for Indian aggression at the time and place of its choice. Prime Minister has appreciated timely and effective response of Pakistan Air Force to repulse Indian intrusion at LOC without any loss of life or property. Prime Minister Imran Khan has called National Command Authority meeting tomorrow to discuss and respond to the prevailing situation arising out of the Indian aggression at the LOC. A joint session of the Parliament has been summoned tomorrow to give a strong message to New Delhi that the nation is united in face of any Indian aggression. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.